Who's the biggest bust in golf history? In other sports, we have an answer. But in golf, we've never really had the conversation. Because when these players don't pan out, we just quietly move on. But the hype machine builds anyway. Through junior rankings, college titles, and amateur medals. The first names that came to my mind were Ollie Schneiderjans and Gordon Sargent. But their stories are still being told. I've found 5 players, 5 stories, who had everything the game could offer and couldn't hold on to it. Let's start small. 14 years old, playing in a practice round with Tiger Woods at the Masters. And 3 days later, he found himself standing on the 18th green with a putt to achieve stardom. Tianlang Guan, at 14 years old, made the cut at the Masters, finished as low am ahead of many former champions, and was by far the youngest player to ever make the cut. He was invited to the Zurich Classic, where once again he made the cut against the best players in the world at just 14. He was already a star, with the world revolving around him. But it's the brightest stars that have the shortest lifespans. What looked to be the beginning of a legendary career was blinding, but brief. He wasn't a supergiant, he was a supernova. He had too much too soon. The next one never got to have it at all.
The class of 2011 was stacked. From multiple major winners, Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas, and Xander Schauffele, to still exceptional PGA Tour players in C.T. Pan, Daniel Berger, and Patrick Rogers. And none of them were the top-ranked recruit. That goes to Anthony Paolucci. At 18, he had all the hype in the world. Number 1 ranked junior in the country, Junior Player of the Year, state champion, and had just shot 3 under at the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, finishing inside the top 30 and 1 shot better than Tiger Woods. He was being trash-talked by Phil Mickelson in a money match that same week. That's how good life was. You're 18 years old, you're the best junior golfer in America, you just outplayed Tiger Woods on a course he won the US Open at, and you're being trash-talked by Phil Mickelson for $40. Then he went to USC, and nothing. No injury story, no swing collapse, no dramatic moments, just silence. That Farmers Insurance Open would be the only PGA Tour cut he ever made, and he made 3 cuts on the Korn Ferry Tour. 3. It seems he made his rounds in the PGA Tour Latin Americas for a while, where he made $155,000 in his career. But he went from better than Spieth to never heard from again.
Some players disappear without a trace. The next one never got a chance to find himself. You're 16, you finished top 40 in both PGA Tour events you've played, and at one point having a share of the lead. What do? Go. If you're Tai Tryion and you have an overbearing father making all your decisions, you forfeit your college eligibility, your amateur status, and your privacy. Then you turn pro. The insane part? It almost worked. At 17, he became the youngest player to ever earn his tour card with a bogey-free 66 in the final stage of Q School. His rookie year, he got mono, made just 1 cut in 11 starts. But things were starting to look up, and at Bay Hill, the 18-year-old got his first top 10 of his PGA Tour career. Sadly, it would also be the only top 10 of his PGA Tour career. And Korn Ferry. Because Ty wasn't raised as a kid. He was raised as his dad's personal project. By 11, Ty had a personal trainer, boxing coach, 2 swing coaches, and a diet to gain weight for an 11-year-old. By 16, he added a sports psychologist, yoga instructor, and image coach. This wasn't parenting, it was engineering. A forced flower, grown quickly and perfectly, but it has no roots. And when the conditions get tougher, there's nothing keeping him grounded. The following year, he lost his tour card, went to the Korn Ferry, lost that card the next year, and at 20 years old, his confidence was gone, with no idea how to get it back. Because there was no failsafe, Bill Tryon prepped his son for everything, except the moment when it stopped working. And when that moment came, Ty had no idea what to do. He spent his years on the mini tour circuits, later becoming a teaching professional. He now focuses on his family and plays mini tour events on the side. When he was younger, he was a forced flower with little emotional maturity. Now he's living his own little life, not the one his dad picked out for him. Not every player needs a villain. Sometimes yourself is enough. He broke Tiger Woods' record. Rory McIlroy said he couldn't beat him, and the game never got a chance to find out how good he really was. He won over 140 tournaments as a junior, he won 4 consecutive Junior World Golf Championships, and he was considered a couldn't-miss prodigy. At the time, Rory McIlroy was the best junior golfer Europe had to offer, a generational talent in his own right, which we knew then and we certainly know now. Someone asked him if there was anyone he couldn't beat. He said yes, Philip Francis. As a high schooler, he qualified for a PGA Tour event by shooting 62 in a Monday qualifier. He won the U.S. Junior Am. He was on top of the world. Then he went to college. Even though he was part of a national championship winning team, the game that had always come so naturally to him suddenly became complicated. He got technical, mechanical, started chasing a perfect swing instead of just playing golf. And somewhere in that process, he lost the one thing you need: his love for the game. He gave himself one final ultimatum, Q School in 2015, make it or walk away forever. He missed by one shot, moved to Chicago, got into Bitcoin. It worked out well, but we find ourselves occasionally wondering what might have been. Sometimes you can even get to the biggest stage in golf and still be a bust. 22-year-old Bobby Clampett was leading the Open Championship by 7 with 31 holes to play. The breakout the golf world was waiting for was finally happening. But why was the golf world waiting? To put it lightly, he was Tiger before Tiger. In college, he was a 3-time All-American, 2-time Player of the Year, back-to-back Amateur of the Year, Low-Am in the Masters, Low-Am in the US Open. Then he turned 20. He turned pro and was off to the races. In his first full season on tour, he made 22 of 26 cuts with 4 runner-up finishes. The next season, he qualified for 3 of the 4 majors. In the US Open, the 22-year-old finished 3rd place, marking his 5th top 5 of the season, and his maiden win seemed imminent. And that brings us back to Tryon. 31 holes, and then a coronation would commence. He had become the youngest Open winner since young Tom Morris back in 1872. But the coronation never commenced. Reality did. Clampett completely collapsed. He shot 8 over the final 13 holes of round 3, clinging desperately onto a one-shot lead overnight, and his nerves never calmed. He shot a final round 77 to finish 10th, but his win did come. 2 months later at the Southern Open, the breakout everyone had been looking for, and after he got his win, what did he do? He changed his swing, searching for something that would hold up better under pressure, and he never threatened to win again. After winning, after threatening to win 2 majors, after 11 top 5s as a 21 and 22-year-old, it wasn't enough for him. And those 11 top 5s in his first 2 years are more than he'd have the rest of his career. The saddest thing about Bobby Clampett wasn't the collapse at Tryon. It wasn't the fact he changed his swing. It was that he won. He actually won. And it still wasn't enough. He was the only person who ever doubted Bobby Clampett. And that was enough. Golf, unlike any other sport, makes athletes look human. And that's why there's something cynical about making this video. But these stories deserve to be told, because the game doesn't talk about them. And maybe it should. Subscribe for more.